everyone. Welcome to the RazCast. Hello, everyone. Welcome on in for the RazCast, our weekly. Oh my God, Fresh. Put on
We're
the mask.
starting off strong. Put it on.
Immediately. I'll put it on after. There you go. Just for you. You have so many points. I didn't realize. Welcome to the
points everywhere.
RazCast. I know. It is our weekly podcast that Fresh Baked Goods and I hold, where we have different guests. So if you haven't, if you've never heard of this guy, you've been living under a rock. The one and only Alpine Sniper is here. Woo! Alpine.
What's up, everybody?
Um,
Hello.
Yeah. So Alpine here, a fellow content creator. Super happy to have him. Just a quick overview of the RazCast. It's a weekly podcast we hold every Saturday at 1 p.m. Eastern, where we have different guests in different fields. What we're going to be talking about today is some hella loose stuff, as well as content creation. If you want to see someone, definitely recommend it to us in the Discord. And be sure to go ahead and check out Alpine and Fresh Baked Goods. If we don't get to one of your questions right away, don't worry. I'm writing them all down. So feel free to go ahead and chat in the Twitch chat, and we will go ahead and comment. What game is this? This is life, bruv. What's up, Husk? All right. And without further ado, Alpine, welcome on in. So
Thank you.
explain to the audience, who are you, Alpine?
Basically an infantry content creator for Hell Let Loose, as I know you guys are pretty much the head of the table for the tanking aspect.
How does it feel to be the faceless face of Hell Let Loose?
Yeah, I mean, obviously it'd be nice if I could, do some face reveal or something like that, but just with the position that I'm in on my professional side of life, I'm just not comfortable doing that.
Yeah, I hear you.
He doesn't want his OnlyFans to get leaked yet.
Yeah, pretty much. It's only feet right now.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That's there's that website with the feet, right? Like the feet rating.
I think it's like Feet Finder or something. Is that the website?
Yeah, you just go to Google, just type in like Alpine feet pics.
Yeah, and it's like the first thing that comes up.
Come up. It's like Yeti feet.
Oh man, but yeah, that's awesome though. Like, so I mean, what got you into making content, man?
Like I've always kind of had a small creative side to me. I guess I used to like to draw.
Really?
Just
I didn't know this.
What'd you draw?
Really, just kind of like I just like using like a pencil, and I would just kind of draw like animals and shit.
Nice. Do you have like
Um,
a go-to animal you used to draw?
Not really. I did like a couple portraits of like the dogs that we used to have.
Do you have like any pictures of these? Like,
yeah, I can send it. Well, they're back home, obviously, while
okay.
I'm out here. So, but I could probably get the pics over to
Yeah,
you.
we need the sketches.
Yeah. I'm learning so much every time we have people on this. I just did not expect.
I had no
We're
idea.
gonna have Alpine on, and he was like, "I draw pictures of dogs." I'm like, I would guess that.
Yeah, so like I mean, I haven't really drawn in like a really long time, like probably since high school, because I just don't have the time or the I guess energy to do it. Like most of the time when I'm done with my days, I'm pretty much ready to either play video games or go to sleep.
Fuck yeah.
Dang, I had no idea you drew.
Yeah,
And you made
little
your
fun fact.
logo too, right? You made the logo.
Oh
yourself?
yeah, I make everything myself.
Oh, dude, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So yeah, but I just kind of like I used to play. I know I'm pretty sure you've known this, Raz, but I used to play in like some pretty heavy comp clan matches in the Call of Duty 2 days on the 360.
Sweaty boy.
Yeah, super fucking sweaty, super sweaty. And it would always kind of like be kind of cool to like. I mean, some of the guys, they would record the matches so that they could send them in for like, because the websites that we used to play on, like they'd want recordings sometimes to look at them and make sure nobody was cheating and things like that. And it was kind of something that I always thought about doing, but never quite did. And I was like, this is back when YouTube was like super early. Like the only people were on it like were like a handful of like the really big YouTubers. Like nobody really kind of played these indie titles like that. It was like Call of Duty and that was it. But yeah, so it's kind of something I always thought about doing. And then I was always a console guy, never really had a PC. And then once I made my PC, I had my first PC really in 2016. And it was kind of just something I dabbled with. And like I once started making videos, I realized that I actually really liked it. So
What
Nice.
console did you have? PS or
yeah,
PlayStation
I went.
or?
I mean, I played like obviously like some of the OG stuff, like the Super Nintendo, and then I went to the PlayStation 2. Then I got like the 360. I skipped a couple of things in there. Like I know a lot of people had the Dreamcast and the N64 and stuff like that, but um, I played sports a lot growing up, so I didn't always have like the newest game systems.
Mhm.
Uh, but I had the 360, and I played single player games on the 360 for a while, and then I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna hook this Ethernet cable in and see what it's all about. And like I remember playing Call of Duty 2, like that was my first online experience, and as soon as I dropped somebody with a sniper scope on that game, I just like instantly had an addiction.
I
That's
feel like the
crazy.
360 is like the defining moment for a lot of people. Like that
Hmm.
was the console for online gaming. Like I remember playing Modern Warfare 2 a bunch in college. I was straight up addicted to that.
Yeah, yeah. Call of Duty 2, I don't even want to know that, because I was in high school, and then into college when that game like was popular. So uh, I don't even want to know how many hours I sunk into that game.
Oh,
Like,
probably stupid amount like the rest of us.
yeah, nah. I mean, I'd stay up. We'd get on at like like my clan and us
Mm.
or myself, and like we'd get on at like 7 or 8 o'clock at night, and we'd go to bed at like 4 a.m.
Dude, the good old days.
That
Yeah.
oh my god. Don't you miss doing that?
I could not survive doing that now.
Oh,
I
absolutely
get to
not.
10 p.m. and I'm like, I'm going to bed.
I
I don't know how
Yeah.
you do these night shifts.
That's like my normal. I was saying turn your mic up here. Fresh.
Yeah, turn me up.
I turned you up as much as possible. Let me know if the sound is good here. Um but yeah, like I mean that's kind of what I do now personally is stay pretty late, but I mean that's because I don't work as early as you guys. You guys work hella early.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Fresh
Like a
is up at
normal
like 6 in
person.
the morning. Hey, oh,
I don't do your freak night hours.
I know. Like Hell Loose at Night is always just
Some
chaos. You don't know.
experience I don't know.
Yeah. Alpine and I hop on sometimes. We're just like, why did we do this?
Yeah, and then the first match will be like Purple Heart Lane. We're like, all right.
Oh,
Too late
yeah.
for that shit.
Purple Heart Lane with no garrisons.
Yeah.
Great. It's great. It's great. Um, but yeah, so you started off with some Call of Duty, and then you started making some content. What were some of the first games you started making content for? Did you do Call of
I'm
Duty or?
no, I never recorded for Call of Duty.
Mhm.
I stopped playing Call of Duty when I transitioned over to PC, and that was about the time when like Ghosts was coming out and like Advanced Warfare, and they started jetpack sliding everywhere, and I was like, all right. That's kind of actually what spurred me to make my PC, is because Rising Storm 2 and like Squad and all
Right.
those more hardcore games were out on the PC and not on the consoles, and I was like, I'm done with this. Like I can tell the way that consoles are going. I didn't want to be a part of it really.
Yeah. I think like they definitely tried to make consoles effective at doing some streaming and some like recording and stuff with the PS4, I think, and the Xbox Series S or X. I don't know what it was. The
Yeah.
Xbox One, I'm sorry. But it was just never, I mean, even now, it's just the quality is so bad and it's so cumbersome to like move it anywhere or post it anywhere.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I played a little bit of Battlefield 1 on the PlayStation 4, like right when it first came out. But then I was like, every time you get on YouTube, you'd see everybody on the PCs, and like
Yeah.
because I'm a huge graphics whore. I don't know if anybody knows. But uh once I saw like what people are capable of doing with like the PCs and just the, like I said, the direction that console games are typically going in, I was just like, I gotta just bite the bullet and build a PC.
So much different. I
Yeah,
know.
once you open up Steam for the first time and just see like all the
Hmm.
options, it's over. There's no going back.
Yep.
Yeah. I remember when I was in console, it was like I would play every single game through. And now it's like with PC, I'm just like, I have too many games. I'm like, oh my God, I can't
How
sit
many
down.
games do you own that you just have never even opened? It's like
So
it's
many.
embarrassing for me at this
Yeah.
point. I just don't have, I buy shit when it's on sale and I just like, oh yeah, I'll play this. And I just never touch it.
Yeah. I kind of I get really stuck on one game. Like
Yeah,
I
me
played
too.
Rising Storm 2 for
Yeah.
like 4 years.
When did
Like,
that
and
game
I don't
come
think
out?
I don't even know. I was late. I think I was not even. I think I was kind of actually late to that game. I'll look it up real quick.
Mm.
But
Yeah.
yeah, I played that game. It says May 2017. So maybe I was early on that. Actually, that's weird. I'd have memories that it was out before I started playing it, but I guess not. But yeah, I basically played Rising Storm 2 almost exclusively, and that's where I kind of started making the videos. And I mean, like, there was no other. I tried Squad, but like Squad, you got those big, like, 100,000 plus YouTubers that cover that game, so it's kind of like a wash for somebody as small as I am. So
Yeah.
I basically just focused on, Rising Storm 2 had a pretty like core fan base that was pretty regular,
It still does,
so
doesn't it?
yeah, I think so. I think it's still doing all right.
Yeah.
There's not really like, if you're into the Rising Storm franchise, there's not like a direct, newer release of a game that can kind of compete with that.
Yeah,
If
there's
you're
not many
looking, if that's
options for Vietnam either.
right. Yes, I mean, really, Vietnam. That's really the last time you're gonna see any game worth playing.
Yeah. I think we'll probably get into it a little later. Like some of the other games coming up, like Burning Lands looks pretty good, but I'm still
Yeah,
a little
that's
skeptical.
Burning. I'm not skeptical on Burning Lands, really. I think that
No.
game, the only part of Burning Lands that has me skeptical is going to be that it takes too long to develop and it comes out when something big has already like come in
Yeah.
That's a good point. Yeah.
and like
So just
undercuts
build
it. But
that.
I think Burning Lands will be extremely good. It'll be whether or not they can get it to players' hands fast enough, because it's another small dev team, same way that
Yeah.
Hell Let Loose was.
They're asking, does Rising Storm have player built spawns? I can't remember.
They've got. I can't remember. I know that the Vietnamese side has player built spawns. You can basically dig like these tunnels. Like it's basically like setting up a garrison for your squad, and your squad leader can go and build a tunnel, and it just kind
Oh,
of like,
yes. I do
yeah.
remember that.
I can't remember if the US just lets you spawn on your squad leader. I haven't played it in so long now.
We got to go back to
if
it. Terry and I played it.
It's a really fun game. It really
Yeah.
is.
Yeah, no, it's a great game. It's the reason I got like my channel started, because like I said, there wasn't really for a small channel. It's good to find a kind of a medium popular, like, not mainstream but not completely obscure.
Yeah.
And it's got like a very core fan base, so
And
it worked. It was good for like my small channel to play it on.
your channel is blowing up, my guy. You're almost at
not so small anymore, dude.
yeah, 41K, man.
That's
41.
insane.
That's nuts.
Yeah,
That's huge.
it's definitely a lot bigger than I thought it was ever going to be. I just kind of treated this as like like I said, a creative outlet, and kind of just doing it for fun. But
What's the secret, man?
I honestly can't
Give
freaking
us
tell
the
you.
sauce.
Honestly, just kind of like I guess when I'm making my videos, I kind of look at what I'm creating, and it's like, if I like watch it back, like, because as I'm making the video, obviously you're gonna look at it as make sure everything flows properly. But like, if I'm watching it and I see a part of the video and I'm like, it's kind of boring, I'll just clip it out.
Yeah.
So I just make sure that it's always something that's either leading up to, like, I like to pull off flanks a lot. So like, I'll make sure that my video either incorporates, obviously the actual flanking and murdering, but making sure that the content is applicable to like what's coming up and not just random gameplay.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's fair. Like you're telling a story. There's a bit of a narrative in there.
You do a good job with that too, with the editing. Even though you don't necessarily talk a ton.
Yeah,
like
well, that's
still
something and that's another thing I'm
storytelling.
trying to get better at, is because like when I'm watching it, I'm like, oh, that's boring. But like, maybe some people will find the comms not boring, so I need to. I'm trying to get better at incorporating some of the comms, that, because people are, they make comments, they're like, oh, you don't say, you're not making call outs and stuff, and it's like, yeah, but you're missing the other, the minute leading up to the flank where we're talking about what direction the enemy's coming from, and everything
Yeah.
like that. And so it's like, I'm trying to incorporate some of that communication into the videos better.
Husk says comms are key.
They are key. They are key.
They're especially key for Husk.
Yeah. It's like, whoa, did you see that over there? Oh my god, yeah, but that's awesome, man. What do you foresee for the future of the channel? Like, how are you gonna go ahead and keep innovating, and like, what do you plan on
Mm,
like how loose this?
well, I mean, obviously, we got a lot of people talking about the old roadmaps that came from Black Matter, and it's like
Mm,
I understand that people are upset that roadmaps weren't, realized, but you got to think too. You got a brand new company in there now, so
right.
the old roadmap is no longer applicable once Team 17 came and bought them out. So I'm going to give Team 17 the benefit of a doubt on I'm going to wait for them to release something. You got this 13.5 coming out, but at some point, like they're going to need to definitely show us something that is actually like it's a concrete, measurable. This is what we're doing. Like, and not
Yeah.
just changing reload animations and things like that. Like, it needs to be core gameplay mechanics that we're gonna see that people have been asking for changes for a very long time.
Dude, I bet I bet we get something next week. This is pure speculation, but
Sure.
it's like the update comes out what 4 or 5, so that's 2 weeks away. So I bet the roadmap comes out next week because they're not going to do. I think they would do a roadmap and an update the same week. That might be kind of a lot. I bet they do roadmap to get people hyped on the update.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So they give it. I bet they do roadmap next week and then give it a week to
Yeah.
build up
Like
hype
like
for
I
the
said,
update.
I'm definitely waiting. Like, I want to see what they're. I mean, it's not obviously an easy thing to come into some other company's IP, take it over,
Yeah.
and you got to learn how to build the engine. Because obviously they've got their own process and things, and they're they got to figure out what they want to change, make better. So I'm gonna wait and see what they come out with before I make any kind of opinionated content.
What are some of your wish list stuff you want on there?
Besides the obvious, like make MGs actually playable.
Oh,
Um,
dude, they are
the the
so
the
bad.
grenade loadout, the grenade bugs, loadout bugs. Obviously, those things. I mean, those everybody's been waiting for that forever. So
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I'm really curious as to why that has been such a hard thing to figure out. I mean, I don't know if there's like some kind of random like hard coding that they're gonna have to go back and find and sort through all the years of Black Matter updates and figure out why. But obviously, I'd like to see those things fixed. But other than that, I would say probably you got to add more Russian content, and then everybody's waiting on
Yeah.
the British.
A lot of
Yeah.
people did like the Russian content, so
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with the Russian content, but somehow it just kind of seems like it was completely unoptimized compared to the French, American, German
yeah.
maps.
They need that
Somehow,
like
yeah.
they need that one solid. I mean, like the maps are all good for what they are, but they need that one map that gets all the audience on board, like an SME or
Hmm.
SMDM or something like that. Because Kursk is
And
great for tanks, Stalingrad is kind of buggy, and then Kharkov is good, but it's still not like
right,
a whole crowd pleaser. So there hasn't been that
right.
one thing yet.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think I told Raz this. I think if they can come in, knock out like while everybody's still trying to figure out if they trust them or not, if they can come in and just swing a big old hammer at the core gameplay bugs that everybody's been bitching about for a year or 2 years, and just knock those out, everybody will give them kind of the space they need to go back and then start adding new content.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Huss says he wants some free look while running, which would be nice.
Yeah,
He
that
also
doesn't
says the
hurt.
best map in game mode is Omaha Beach Offensive, which is
Get out of here.
absolutely
That's not the case.
that is insane. But
I really
yeah,
like the maps that are. It's unfortunate too because it's like a lot of people don't like the offensive game modes,
Yeah.
but they have some of the best like moody lighting and
Yeah.
atmosphere.
Yeah, dude.
So,
Hurt Getting Offensive is like an all-time favorite of mine because it gets
I
all foggy and shit and dark. I
hmm
love that.
I really
yep,
don't understand why we don't have like randomized days, like day
yeah,
nights. Like I
Yeah, that'd be
know
cool.
yeah, like they did offensive and I get it. Like they want to have some differentiation,
This
but
goes
like
this this goes back to I wish they would just I wish there was a way for Archon to have more control over it. Like you could click on something, you could set it to like
dude,
whether
Remagen,
you could set like what vehicles are allowed, stuff like that. I wish
yeah.
there was more control for your servers and that you
hmm
could choose the stuff for
Could,
specifics and
some
everything.
some custom rule sets.
Yeah,
like
dude. I
Remagen
feel like
would
that
be
would go a long way.
terrible if you had the point the middle every single
Dude,
time.
I'd be in the
Ev-
rotation every day if the bridge
Every
was the point
yeah.
every time. It's a
Like,
Yeah,
rotation today, and
that
I'm
they
not
need.
looking.
Yeah, that's something I can definitely agree on.
Yeah,
Remagen, the middle point should 100. It should
always.
just remove those other two like locations. It should be the middle of the bridge every time.
yeah, it's just so dumb. That's not the case. I don't know if that's
Yeah.
like a coding thing. If that's like goes back to like they just fucked something up way in the past, where they
I have
have to
no
have
idea.
3 and it would mess something up. Who knows?
Yeah, like
So
if you're gonna put that big of a choke point in the game, I mean, it literally
yeah,
is a massive choke point. It has to be where
with
the thing that you
no
fight
other
over.
flanking at all,
Right.
which
Yeah.
I don't understand like what their thought process around that was
Dude, I
anyway.
think it's a coding thing. Like their coding is so fragile. The minute they change something, it breaks something. Like how Kursk is broken.
Yeah.
Like
Hmm.
they changed something, it broke that whole map. It's like whatever they built this game on is just so
I
fragile.
I
That's why there's
mean,
Hmm.
always so much happening.
I don't know. I just wish with Raymoggin they just add like 2 crosses or 2 or 3 crossroads like over the river of like, just floaties. Like that's it.
Yeah.
Like what's it called? Postscriptum has that same thing where they have
Yeah.
a map and they have like 2 other passageways to make it
Hmm.
like somewhat balanced, Like you just can't have that. And then also the fact that you can't cross anywhere but the bridge. It can be on your side and then you can just block off the bridge. There's no way they can get there.
Dude, you know what would be a really, really good, easy. We were talking about this in Discord yesterday, day before. I feel like it'd be a really easy thing to do, and it would win a lot of people back to the game. It's like they came out with all these night maps for the less popular maps. What if,
Hmm.
like, in this update, they were like, "Here's night Carentan, here's night SME, here's night modes of all the really cool maps."
Yeah,
That would be
man.
Right.
freaking
Which is
awesome.
that's literally just a night a lighting
Yeah,
change, and that's it.
if they did that, it would be huge, and I'm really hoping someone thinks of it over there.
Yeah, that's one of the things I put in my recent video. Like I really think that's something they're gonna bring. Cause I mean, like think
They
about it,
have
right?
to. It
It,
has to be
it
made
makes
already.
sense. Like, and speaking of the devs in the past, I was like, yeah, where are the other maps? They're like, well, we can't drop everything at once. And I was like, well,
Dude, they
that
have
makes
tanks
sense.
that have been sitting on for years. Like, they
Yeah,
have tanks
Yeah.
already modeled that they just haven't implemented. It's like they
yeah,
have a
man.
lot of stuff made. And I think that's why Remagen got dropped, like, out of nowhere because it was, like, just sitting on the back burner. And I feel like there's a lot of content.
Yeah. Well, they've had the what was it? The Firefly. They've had the Firefly modeled forever,
Mhm.
for
Yeah, 'cause
so long.
they paid a
That's
third
crazy.
party to do all that when they first started, if I
Really?
remember
Really?
correctly. Yeah, if I remember
Oh,
correctly, they had someone else model all that stuff for them.
yeah. Like all that stuff's been ready to go. But yeah, man.
Yeah.
Like that would be great to just have
Hmm.
some more mod control or admin control to have some of the night maps. Like they can't push this Commonwealth off without having something in the middle.
Yeah.
Like they
Yeah.
can't. Like
Yeah.
this
Well,
Siege
game will be
Engine.
dead.
yeah.
Siege
There's a
Engine made a point down there. He's like, if you could just throw in like an amphibious vehicle for both sides,
yeah,
Oh,
that has like capability of like transporting squad leaders or a commander across,
I agree.
that would be nice.
like a amphibious recon vehicle. That'd fix a lot of it.
Or you
Yeah.
could just hold your breath long enough to bring the transport truck under.
No,
Carrington.
Raz, you can't swim, you sink. All right.
That thing is so funny. But yeah, man, like that'd be great. And if they could just do some sort of like, night map variations and just have us hold over, like
Yeah.
Carentan, SME, SMDM,
Oh, it's really
like those
small,
would be
dude.
amazing.
It'd
And
be an
like,
easy holdover.
God, that'd be so, so, so nice. Um, what are you hoping for the Commonwealth, Alpine, when they do bring it in eventually at some point in time?
Um, I'm honestly more like it's pretty obvious what they should include as far as uniforms and weapons. And I don't think that needs to be kind of rehashed over and over again. Everybody knows what the British kind of brought to the table, but I would focus more on bringing interesting aspects of where they fought because obviously you got the African theater and then you've got the whole market garden thing. So that'd be a really cool thing to mix up into the content.
Yeah, I do think the North Africa would be
Dude,
awesome.
it'd be so
Hmm.
cool.
Like
Yeah.
El Alamein was the map from Battlefield, right?
Mhm.
And then in Call of Duty too. Back to that again. You got all those LLMs. You got Tujane. You got Matmata. All those really cool
Oh yeah,
maps.
yeah, yeah. That'd be awesome. I mean,
Hmm.
I feel like it would be very difficult to balance it with infantry.
Hmm.
I just don't know how they do it. But I mean, Battlefield has done great maps before. Call of Duty has done great maps. So I'm sure it's possible. It's just big issue with Hella Loose is freaking Artie, man. It's like
Yeah.
you just have an open field, you are effed. Effed.
Goes back to
So,
allowing servers to control it.
mhm.
I wish there
Or
was the switch you could fucking flip.
the freaking mortars, man. Bring those mortars in. Let's get rid of
Yeah.
the freaking Artie and just make it deployable. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be so
Yeah, it's
nice.
some kind of attachment system. Haven't seen them driving around on the back of transport trucks and drop off
Oh,
a portable kind of cannon.
Yeah.
That'd be
they
cool.
if they don't add a battle pass, then I'm done playing.
Dude, you know that's got to be coming down the line with E17. They got to make their money back somehow.
Dude,
Oh,
like,
yeah,
hear me out. If
100%.
it's
I'm totally
cosmetic,
yeah, with cosmetics. I'll go
fuck
for it. I don't mind.
The coolest thing I am hoping for, right? They added smart materials, man.
Yeah.
Give me my winter camo tiger. Like,
you
please.
know that's going to come
Please.
eventually too.
It
Winter
100%
camo
is
tiger.
coming. Yeah.
There's a reason why the vehicles are so basic looking.
Yep.
And that's because they want to keep it that way so you can work for your cosmetics.
Exactly.
I agree.
Let me put like a little bit of, foliage. Is that how you say foliage? On
Yeah,
my
foliage.
tank, like some like dirt, some whatever. Like Battlefield 5. Remember Battlefield 5? You could get the different like tank
Yeah,
skin.
dude, and they look pretty sick for the most part.
They look badass. Like really lived in too. They weren't like crazy. Actually, I think Battlefield 1 had like a gold tank, which was a little crazy. But like the Battlefield 5 had like realistic looking ones, which were really cool. So I'd love to see some of that in.
One of the few things that Battlefield 5 did realistically.
Yeah. God. The gunplay is great in Battlefield 5, but everything else
Game's
is
still
just,
fun. It's
yeah.
everything else is kind of messy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
That's kind of like
Hell,
you just have to
cool.
get like just look at it like you're like blackout drunk playing it. Like just don't take anything seriously. Like you're just like
Exactly.
going in there. It's gonna get messy, but you're gonna have a good time.
Yeah. We had a good run last time we tried it.
That's
Fresh.
fun. I mean,
Yeah.
you work as a team in Battlefield. Things go a long way.
Yeah. No one ever does.
No one ever does.
But yeah, what are some other things you're wishing for? Do you wish for any other like factions?
Well, factions, like I said, I think bringing the British is going to really round out what a lot of people are caring about, especially, we've obviously got a lot of European players. And just being able to either pick Russian, German, or British, I think you're going to hit a lot of that demographic. But one thing that I did bring up I think it was Gritzon. It was either Gritzon or maybe Spano, but this is back when they were talking about this is back prior to being able to pick your own uniforms or the customization. I brought it up to him back then. It's still an issue today. It's like the ability to make the maps either classified as summer or winter uniform.
Oh my God. I know.
And talking about what you're talking about there with the tanks, being able to customize your tank and throw a winter leopard camo on. Imagine driving that around, Carrington. It's going to look ridiculous.
Yeah.
So, at some point, I think it's an inevitable thing that they're going to have to address because
I hope they do.
Yeah, it's going to look stupid.
I get both ways. Like, I get it looks fucking dumb, but all at the same time, they're like, well, they're charging for it. So it's
That's
like,
true too.
That's the hard thing to do when it's like we charge people for this and we're going to tell them they can't use it on this map. Like, it's like I see both sides of it. It's a rough decision they're going to have to make eventually.
I think like the tank or vehicle camos would be a little easier to pull off, but if you're running like the infantry is just so obvious.
Dude,
like
the
that
white,
is just silly.
man, it's rough.
Yeah. I don't know, man.
Well, I'll be honest. When I'm looking through my iron sight and I can see a dude dressed in white, clear as day, 300 meters out, he's getting dropped first.
Yeah, dude, it's funny. Like they just say they don't realize that like hiding in a bush, but they just stand out even more.
Well, and then sometimes like I'll see that white uniform without even like zooming in, like scoping in, and I'll look down my scope. Oh, there's 3 more of his teammates right next to him. I'm like, all right, dude. Well,
thank you.
I'll take that.
Yeah, but I really hope. I don't know if they like if they bring the Commonwealth. I hope we see some variation of like British, Canadian, and Australian too.
Yeah, I don't think that's yeah. Well, so the Australians, you're going to go back into that territory of like, why are Australians and Carrington? If they, there's a market garden map and you got Australians running around, you may get people upset about that. But
man. I think just like swap some of the other maps too, to where you can swap them into Commonwealth. Like to your point, like
Hmm.
if the British were at SME or wherever they went to, like, and they were also there, maybe that could double the amount of maps you could probably play. You know what I'm saying? Like instead of it's USA German warfare, you could do
Hmm.
Commonwealth German warfare, and then you'd have some dynamic battles with like the British or the Commonwealth weaponry. I think that'd be also a
Hmm.
cool way to triple the amount of maps. Like in or the amount of
Well, I
games.
mean, once you've covered all those, if as without going into the Pacific theater, once you've thrown in the British, the Russians, and the Americans versus the Germans, like, I mean, you can create maps to your eyes are bleeding
Yeah,
red.
Dude, speaking of the Pacific, I bet we don't get that in this game. I bet that's how it lose too.
I agree.
yeah.
There's no way
I
we're
bet
good
that's
at this
been
game.
pushed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it has to be. That'd be the
I
smartest decision they could make with it.
Yeah, I saw something on Reddit that was talking about it, and it was like, I'd rather just have them fully dedicate an entire game to that.
Yeah,
That makes
yeah.
sense. Like,
And with the systems they have in place too, it's like, think about tanks. It's like
yeah.
that'd be a joke if like the Japanese tank rolls out and it does as much damage as an American
Oh
tank.
my
Right.
god, yeah.
It's like
UE5 would probably be the best for that too.
yeah, it
Honest,
would look really good in UE5.
honestly, it'll probably come down to two things. It'll come down to how much money does Team 17 want to make, and then
Mhm.
how much effort do they want to spend figuring out how to implement, because we have no idea how hard or easy it is to continue to develop on what Black Matter made behind the scenes.
Yeah.
So like it could be extremely difficult to add in an entirely new faction and maps, or it could be super easy.
Yeah,
So
it could just be a reskin or something. Who knows?
right,
Yeah.
but because now that we've got all these other quote unquote factions, but really, I mean, it could just be reskins.
Hmm.
But if you're actually thinking about doing something like what Rising Storm 2 did with their campaign system, um, I don't know if bringing in an entirely new area of the world, theater, would make sense. Like, and I think you can just kind of take what is already there and just try to make that as large and as grand as it can be, and then
Yeah.
save
Yeah,
Pacific Theater for like Hell Let Loose 2 or whatever.
I agree.
Yeah.
I think there's just so much that happened on the Pacific that you'd have to just dedicate that. I mean, there's so many different maps
Yeah.
that you could possibly make.
That's
Like,
a
I mean,
lot of content.
Okinawa, Iwo
Mm-hmm.
Jima, like just to name two, like Guadalcanal, like crazy stuff. And like you can
Right.
even do multiple Iwo Jima because there's like multiple parts of Iwo Jima. Like, I mean, the actual like volcano area, like the actual jungle area.
I
Same with
mean, it
Guadalcanal.
sounds awesome. I think Iwo Jima would probably just be one hell loose map, honestly, if they could work it in there. Like that'd be
Yeah.
freaking rad.
But
But yeah, hell loose too.
how different? Yeah, how different would it look? Like the LODs, would they
Oh,
go to
God.
UE5? It's a ton of stuff.
If they don't fix, I'm not even worried about it. But if they like, because I'm almost certain that they are going to fix it. But if they don't fix these freaking LODs, I'm gonna lose my mind.
Yeah, dude, it's ugly. It's
they're
so bad.
Bad. They definitely
Yeah.
got worse, right? Like, 100%.
Oh yeah, they got worse. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they got worse.
Correct me if I'm wrong, because like I've been playing this game since it was like beta or alpha or whatever the earliest thing I could get into was. But like when you zoomed in with like a sniper scope back in the day, you could see an entire building and the dude inside of it for like at
Correct.
max distance.
Yeah,
Correct.
Yeah. No, they've definitely downgraded a lot of things over the years, and I think it's to make
For
it
console.
yeah,
Yeah.
maybe console, maybe just so lower end PCs can run it, but there's definitely been downgrades like across the freaking board,
It's
dude.
bad.
Yeah,
And
it's
like,
bad.
I think they just picked and choose and just went completely random, like around the map to which LODs like look good and look bad. Because there's some that it's like I'm 10 feet from it, and it's
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
completely terrible. And there's some that I'm really, 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 really far away, and they're still like rendered in. So it's just
Well,
super
it
weird.
affects gameplay too, and it's like that's the most
Yeah.
frustrating part about it. Not
Like-
only does it look bad, but it affects gameplay, especially
Well-
when you're in a tank or something, man.
Right.
There's, like,
well, I
the
mean,
one-
there's
Sorry.
there's certain buildings where like the window has like an MG guy in it,
Yeah.
and all you can see is a house of Play-Doh and a flash
Yep.
coming from it.
Yep.
Well,
Yeah.
there's the one spot. Like, it was funny because I was tanking with Fresh, and he's like, "Oh, just go to this wagon here on Kharkov because they can't see it from 20 feet away." And I was
you know,
like,
you gotta
"What?"
learn. You gotta learn the
And
spots,
so I
man.
just go over to it, and it's completely invisible. But like
Yeah,
to
yeah.
them, it looks like we're just standing right in the
There's
open.
so
They're
many
just
spots like
slamming
that.
into it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so many spots like that where it's
So-
like because tanking, it's like, dude, it's like you're engaging hundreds of
Stalingrad,
meters away.
man. Stalingrad has
Stalingrad is
the
the king of it.
gates.
Yeah,
The gates.
Stalingrad
It's
is
like
the king of
the gates are gone at over 50 meters. Like what's going
Yeah.
on? So
Yeah,
yeah, man.
and that's something that you kind of learn too. Is like sometimes you're like, oh fuck, was was this a missed shot or did I just hit something invisible in
Yeah.
front of the dude?
Yeah, you
And
gotta
it's
go
like,
back and double check these days
Yeah.
because you don't
It's
know.
bad, man. I really hope they work on that.
Well, it's
Ma-
not only the new maps, it's like old. They went back and they fucked up
Right.
old maps too. Like Purple Heart Lane never used to be bad, but a couple updates ago, all of a sudden there's like invisible
Yeah.
things everywhere, not loading within a couple hundred meters. It's
Like
Mhm.
the
it's
whole
really
middle
bad.
road too, with the hedges. You just can't see
Yeah.
any of the hedges. It just
Can't
looks
see
like they're
anything.
driving straight through.
It never used to be like that until a
Mhm.
couple updates ago.
Um,
Yeah.
Mandible brought up a good question. He said, "What are your thoughts on seeing a map type called flipped, where it's the same except both teams swap sides?"
So like you
Interesting.
mean like play the first round one side and then it flips and then you play the
No,
opposite direction, or is he just mean in general?
just in general, where like there's always a German and always an American side, or whatever the case is. If you can
Yeah.
just flip it, and then that way you could have like the for example Kharkov, right? You have the Soviets at the north,
Mhm.
Germans at the south. If you just played it, you just flipped it. They could just play different. I think it'd be cool.
Yeah, could be interesting. I think that we're starting to get into that, like that kind of stuff is so far into the weeds until they fixed some of these other major things.
Yeah,
Yeah. And that goes back to freaking. Then you
the
see,
admin
yeah,
terms.
they need to
Yeah,
let you have control of your server, dude. Like
Yeah.
that should fall under that. I would love it, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Always more variety is always welcome as long as
mhm,
it's not at the detriment of the experience.
mhm.
Do you guys think there will be a Hell Loose 2? That's what the chat's asking.
Yeah, definitely.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
They're
Yeah.
building a
I think
whole.
so
Team
too.
7, what did they Team 17's got what like 70 something people and they're on this Hell Let Loose
Yeah,
kind of
they're
development team
turning it
now.
into a
Yeah,
franchise. Like they're really
Yeah.
going after it. They really are, and
Yeah.
that's why you have to be so optimistic about it. It's like they're really going for it.
yeah. And I mean, I think like how much do they spend on this? Like 10, 20 million? It was not
Yeah.
a
I've heard
small
somewhere in
chunk of
between there.
change.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's a
10 to
Yeah,
lot.
20 is what I've heard, somewhere in the between.
tens of
A
millions
lot.
of dollars. So for them to go ahead and just extend just this one, I don't think that makes sense. I think set it up for a franchise that would potentially be like the hardcore competitor to Battlefield. Like it's gonna go ahead and be the hardcore of like Squad. Like you're gonna have Squad basically do its own thing. I don't know if there's ever gonna be a Squad
Dude,
2.
it
I have no
was
idea.
46
But
million.
Jesus Christ. Holy shit. Yeah, we were off
It
by
says
more than
it
double.
purchased the IP for 31 million with consideration of 15 million subject to performance.
This
Jeez.
is you said this is Hell Let Loose?
Yeah,
Yeah.
this is the IP of
Oh,
Hell
wow.
Loose. Yeah, so they spent a lot of money on this.
That's
And
actually
they're gonna get it
that's
back.
that's more than I had thought it was or
Mhm.
thought I heard
I
it was.
Yeah, same. I really don't think it'd be a bad thing to have some cosmetic like battle pass, man. Like make people come back, maybe make people go ahead and play, make people grind it out. And then just add some more like cosmetics. There's just like you can never have enough cosmetics, I feel. As long as they're grounded. I don't want a gold like, MP40 or something like that. Keep it
Right.
grounded, keep it realistic, add different smudges. Maybe you can have like custom little like again, there's smart materials. You can do whatever you want with them with like little to no performance. Like they were fully developed just for that.
I think you're
Like
seeing a good example of that with the first two they just showed us a preview of. Like it's not like you could dive into it like this is realistic about it, but they look cool and they're staying pretty freaking grounded.
Yeah. I would agree. I just
yeah.
hope it doesn't turn into one of these like 90% of the updates are things that we want and then they just throw in this little sliver of
Yeah.
something that we don't.
Yep.
And then a year or two from now it's like the game is a competitor to Call of Duty's pink guns with a keychain on it.
Oh god, please don't. That's the end of it for me as soon as that shit
Yeah.
starts happening.
Yeah.
I
I don't
can't
want
imagine I didn't
I
if
don't want gun
spending
skins
40.
at all.
Yeah, I agree with that. 46 mil though. I mean, they gotta have some major plans for Hell Let Loose then.
Yeah, there's gonna be cosmetics, and I'm
There's
curious
gotta
what they
be,
do.
yeah. They probably had a huge discussion at the table
That would
for
be the
that kind of a deal.
easiest, most cost effective way without pissing anyone off. Like you just can't make it where you get custom guns or I know they mentioned this a long time ago. I really hope they don't split the community by being like, "Oh yeah, the Commonwealth is like paid DLC."
No, they won't do that.
I hope.
I don't think
But they
so.
did
I don't
mention
think so.
like that other factions would be joined, and they would be like separate factions. Like you'd
That
have
was
to
Black
purchase.
Matter though at the time though. I think was saying that.
Correct.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, like, I hope that never happens because that would be detrimental, very detrimental. Keep it as a live service, keep content flowing, and then keep us getting just easy, like little tags on your guns, like little etchings or something like that. Little like something that you can make it custom to yourself, but keep all the infantry outfits or tanks or whatever like very grounded.
Mm.
It'll be cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Siege Engine just said, "How about voice lines?" I would be down for like the generic, like kind of shouting of a soldier. Yeah, like it's got to be a proximity thing though, because I don't want my soldier yelling reloading when he's by himself on a flank. You know,
Hear me
Yeah,
out.
or
What if I thought this would be freaking awesome if we could get some like content creator like Easter egg voice lines in there, like screams and stuff, like flamethrower screams or like just getting shot screams.
Can you imagine your intense firefight and you hear Husk say something?
That's
Like, out of
exactly what I'm
nowhere.
thinking. Like, oh god, oh, like whatever, you know what I'm saying? I think that'd be really, really funny. But
I can't remember.
keep it
Did
realistic.
the newer battlefields, like they have that kind of stuff in it. Could you hear the enemy team, or was all your own team? When
Yeah, you could hear both teams always in Battlefield.
yeah, I can't remember that. I
They're
liked it. And I
talking
thought well, but yeah, like Alpine was saying, if it provides an advantage for another team, I don't.
what if,
Yeah.
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 Dude, that would
I
be
mean,
awesome.
yeah.
I'll tell you, my voice line would be like, subscribe to Alpine Sniper.
yeah. Oh, you're dying last breath. Subscribe.
Well, did you guys ever hear the Battlefield Friends Easter egg they had? Where it was like he was in the toilet. Did you ever hear that?
Mm-mm.
It was like you walk to some buttfuck nowhere area at the edge of the map, and there was just like a little house that you could go into, and there was like it was like bathroom stalls, and you would like hit the door, like melee it, and a little like voice line would like pop on of the noob character, and he's like, "Hold on a minute, like wait," and like you'd hit it again, and like that stuff like that would be funny, but like I don't know how much work that would be, but dude, could you imagine our little voices in chat? That'd be funny. That'd be funny. I'm just saying. Another one here was someone said emotes. So Squad did emotes. I think
People
it's
were
actually
not
kind of
happy
cool.
about that. I don't think.
Yeah, I don't know why
feel
people are
like
so. Why though?
I don't know.
What's the problem with that? I don't know.
I'm gonna go
yeah.
no on that one as well.
You don't like it, or you do like it?
It could get
No.
cartoonish real quick with that.
You're opening up Pandora's box, I think, with that.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't know, man. I looked at it and I had a handful already unlocked, and like all it is just like this, a point, like this, like very basic stuff.
And I would
mean,
say no.
For now.
yeah. Until you have like the Fortnite dances next.
Fortnite dances in it, yeah.
I'll be honest. You emote at me, you're the first person I'm shooting.
Yeah.
I went to
Like,
Squid
that
the
would
other
kind of
day.
take me out of it. If you're like engaging somebody and they're behind a wall that you can't, that's not loading in. All of a sudden they're fucking emoting at you. I'm not gonna like that.
Yeah. Welcome to Fortnite.
Dude.
Yeah, I don't want anything to do with that.
I was talking to Squid the other day. I was playing with Squid on a squad, and I was like, "Hey, Squid, did you know you can emote?" We're like in the middle of a firefight, and he's like, "What?" I was like, "They're over there," like pointed, and he's just looking at me, and I just get blasted. But I don't know,
Yeah,
man. Like,
There's so like Jiggy just made a comment. Now there is, I guess, a potential for realistic type emotes, like lighting a sig up would be kind of cool. It's like something that's not stupid, but at the same time, you're always going to have people that use those emotes in situations that's going to ruin the immersion.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
sitting there,
Just
you know,
spamming it.
yeah. So it's like I could see that there's a potential for a realistic emote, you know, like pull out a canteen, light up a cig, something like that. But like,
oh yeah,
you know,
like-
there's always going to be somebody that spams it or does it. You know, everybody's trying to do like a push on a point, and then you got some dude just lighting up a cig when everybody else is on it.
Especially
on
if
an
someone
assault.
like you're trying to get like serious content, you got a guy
Right.
following you around just spamming something.
Right.
Oh
So
my God, voice
It's
lines.
gonna be a no for me, dog. I'm just thinking about it, and I'm already like, no, this is a terrible
I don't
idea.
know. I think emotes would be fine. I think it
Nope.
just depends on how you do
Nope.
them.
Raz,
I
you would
think-
love this shit.
I think the negatives outweigh the positives
I
for
do.
me.
I agree. I agree. I feel like in the right hands, it would be good if you're like, you know, going for immersion with it. But
Yeah.
People fucking suck. Let's be
Yeah.
real.
That's true.
uh,
But I think, yeah, definitely cosmetics would just be the most consistent. Just keep people playing by having regular updates. Get as many cosmetics in there as possible. Don't lock vehicles. Don't lock like guns behind
No.
paywalls. Yeah, that's just you can't.
Nope.
Um,
actually, I would like it if you could. It's probably not possible. I'm sure they've got this. Like, this is something that would have had to been done out the beginning. But like, if you could have the weapons stay on the ground to be able to be picked up,
Yeah.
hmm,
that'd be kind of cool. I mean,
I don't see why
obviously,
not. Yeah.
I'm there's another side of that where it's like, you got a bunch of Germans running around with Garants, and then you got a bunch
Yeah.
of Americans running around with Car 98s, which could be kind of weird. But like,
I think at
you
least
know,
ammunition you should be able to pick
but
up.
yeah, or maybe it's an option that you can only do once you've run out of your primary ammo.
Yeah.
Something that could be hard coded like that.
that'd be interesting. Um, what's that? Blue Drake game? Operation Harsh Doorstop. It does that.
Hmm.
And it does it
Mhm.
pretty well. Like you could just run out of ammo, literally walk over to
Hmm.
somebody you just killed, pick it up.
Yeah.
You know,
I
it'd
mean,
be
the guys,
also. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
you never run out of ammo on Hell Loose. So.
Yeah. No, I
I feel
know.
like-
But something that would be nice is like what Battlefield did actually, where you don't necessarily have to put it down. You can go to someone that has ammo and just like hold the button to pick it up off their body
Yeah.
too. That'd also be
I
pretty
would.
beneficial.
Yeah. I would say actually the only class or coupled classes that I ever really find myself consistently running out of ammo for would be the American. I think it's the assault and
Yeah.
either auto gunner, because they give like 6 magazines to a bar and a Thompson. It's like I can run through that if it's a like a close quarters fight.
Have you ever
Yeah.
used the medic? Two
Yeah.
clips,
Well,
two mags.
medic medic
You go
medic
through that
needs its
real quick.
own. Yeah, medic needs its own entire rework.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
They can make that shit so fun if they really tried.
Hmm.
People really love medic, playing medic,
Dude,
like
you
especially
make
on
a couple
console.
little small little mini games in there of like healing people and putting people's guts back in and shit, and that's fun.
Jesus. Could you
Yeah, I'd go. That'd be fucking fun as hell, dude. Like you
strap their leg back on?
you gotta do a little quick time event while you're taking fire and you're just shoving guts back in there.
Jesus.
I'm in,
Mhm.
dude. Sign me up.
Oh my God. You miss it.
What
You
is that?
accidentally like slit their throat.
A little game of operation on the middle point.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. You do surgeon simulator in the battlefield. Let's go.
Oh, and like it has the same like surgeon simulator, like the hand. You're like
It's
dropping
some-
the
like,
heart in there.
guys just talking shit to you in proxy chat like that.
Fuck
Fucking hurts,
off!
dude.
And just
Let me
give like
die.
yeah, give the medic like a massive point bonus if he's able to complete it.
Oh my
Yeah.
Because
God.
obviously you're only gonna be able to do that maybe a couple times in a real
Yeah,
match.
for real, for real.
Dragging
like, give him
bodies
a-
would be great.
Yeah,
I don't think you're gonna that would probably take some massive coding on Hella Loose's end.
it's honestly not important how loose because it doesn't matter if you die.
Right. I was gonna say the only way to make dragging bodies out of a line of sight really in Hell at least, you'd have to make the weapons harder to shoot, like the way they are in postscriptum, because I mean you just get lit up as you're trying to get out of cover and do something like that.
Dude, what if they actually made gunplay like different and hella loose? Like, what if they just came out and did that? What if they're like all of a
Jeez.
sudden shit has recoil patterns and like stuff
Yeah.
map?
Well, I was talking to somebody. I mean, we honestly have no idea what Team 17 can
Dude,
do with this. Like they could
sky's the
completely make
limit.
this a new game. Yeah.
Yeah,
Do you-
and it really depends what they want.
I really hope they don't change a huge portion of the meta. I think like evolving the meta would be the way they want to go, but changing it. For example, Battlefield 5. Remember when they had the gunplay? Gunplay was the best gunplay in any Battlefield. And then they're like, "Oh yeah, people don't really like the fast time to kill, so we're going to double it."
Oh yeah, that was terrible.
Jesus Christ, that
Hella
was the
Loose
worst.
already tried that. If you remember correctly. Like, God,
Mhm.
what was that? Was that update 8 when they messed with
Yeah.
stuff and the TTK went way up? And
Bad.
they quickly changed it back.
Bad.
That was
So
rough times.
yeah, man. I really hope they keep it very grounded. I hope they kind of go that way. Jason says, what about game modes? Different game modes?
Yeah, do they have
Oh,
to
yeah.
at some point? They will.
Yeah.
There's gonna be something. I wouldn't be surprised at first to like test the waters. There's like a smaller like 18 versus 18 1 point
Mm-hmm.
kind of deal. I bet that's like the first type of thing we see.
I bet that would be so easy to do.
Yeah.
Could you imagine tanks only?
Yeah, fucking give it to me, baby.
I mean, I
Let's
don't see
go.
why not. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
they literally. I mean, the player base is large enough that it can support stuff like that.
Mhm.
Yeah. And
Like, I
it's still
mean,
growing, man. It's still growing.
yeah. Oh
The
yeah.
question is, since servers don't have the capability of doing it, would you have to get a whole new server to run that?
Or
'Cause you
hear
can't.
me out. Give them the ability to fucking do it in Archon like they should be able to.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, that's what I'm saying. I think that should be the way to go. It's like you
Yeah.
set it up for that. But I mean, who knows?
I mean, you'd think that just allowing players the ability to change game rules would. I mean, they'd be able to do the similar way that Halo does, where players create their own experiences.
Yeah.
They are really restricted on that though. They really don't want to give players like any
Mhm.
ability to change anything. That's something they've
Yeah.
said in the past. Again, this is speaking in reference to Black Matter, but I know
Right.
they were really not wanting to do any mods, like anything. Like keep it what it is. Which again, it's a great game, but I think adding some like different modes would be cool. Like team deathmatch. Dude, team deathmatch would be like a solid, easy game for people to like learn how to
Yeah,
play.
I bet
That's
it
it.
But
comes, dude. I bet it comes. It's gonna be smaller
yeah,
teams, and it'll be like 1 point.
be super easy. You could almost every single map has a couple of spots like the center of Foy, the center of the church on Saint Marie, like where a team deathmatch could easily run on a little 4 square cutout of the map,
Mhm.
Yeah, like
and you just
easily.
block off the rest of
They
the
just let
rest of
you.
the
It's
area.
just 1 point from each map or something that they. I don't know. No, knowing how things go, they probably pick it. It'd be like here's Saint Mary Lee's TDM, and it's like the church point or something like that, and it's just
Hmm.
like small teams.
What other
Right.
game modes do you think? Like team deathmatch. I think tanks would be cool. Like post scriptum does that. Like tanks only.
I want offensive to be more like how Rush was with Battlefield, where you have an objective that you need to physically interact with, like let it be setting a bomb or something like that.
Hmm.
Like I want some more interactiveness
That's
there.
impossible. You just have one mortar, one artillery. Just hit that over and over and over, and it will never
I
get
know.
planted.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I mean,
Shit like that.
there's you could easily do a capture the flag esque game
Yeah.
mode. Like, yeah, okay, so like Tallgrass just said, like you have somebody's intel at one point on the map, and the other team has to come and try and grab it and protect your intel.
Yeah.
Easy stuff like that. I mean, that's some S&D. Yeah, like it would be so easy to just have like, all right, this map has a flat gun that the Americans need to try to destroy, and the
Yeah.
Germans need to come and blow up one of the American supply depots. I mean, it's too easy.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
the question is like how much of the actual core game modes right now is baked into the like core of the coding of Hell Loose. And I think
Right.
that's what
Mhm.
main problem is that there's so much like
Yeah.
grandfathered in coding that they really can't change that much.
It's
I'll
certainly a skeleton code.
I'll be honest. I don't think you spend 46 million if you haven't scoped some of that out already, though.
Yeah.
If
Yeah,
you're
they
like,
know.
I'm sure they got to look at the coding and we're like, all right, we can work with this.
Well, they were publishing the game, so they had to have the option to like just
Yeah.
peek behind the curtain and see what's going on.
Oh man. That would be great. I don't know if Search and Destroy would play well, but something along the lines of like Rush without artillery.
Yeah.
Right.
There's so
Um,
many cool things they could do. There
Flat
really is,
Mm-hmm.
guns,
dude.
yeah, flat
So
guns would
many
be
cool
great.
things. Yeah.
Um, and more asymmetrical gameplay too. Like, could you imagine at what was it? Easy Red 2 had this. Instead of bombing runs on the like beach maps,
Mm-hmm.
Americans just have like battleship.
Yeah.
They just shoot their
Right.
battleship guns. Like same kind of effect. You just space it out, almost just like the Katusha. And that's it.
I agree.
Yeah.
But
You could even, there's one that I always thought was a cool concept would be like some kind of an escort ambush style
ooh,
where so like you could do it kind of one of two ways. I think I've seen this before, and maybe one of like COD, like one of the newer. What was the last time COD went to World War II? I think
It
they
was
had it in
literally
there.
like COD World War II.
yeah,
And it's where you're
yeah,
escorting the
Okay.
tanks up,
Okay.
right?
Yeah, it's like
Yeah, that was cool.
you could either have a super slow, heavy armored tank that one team needs to escort from here to some extraction point, or it could be even autopiloted by AI, and one team defends it while the other team's trying to take it out. Like that would be super sweet.
or just like some I don't know how hard it is to implement bots, but like a bot game mode too, where they could go ahead and just allow people that just got the game to play against bots for replayability, learn how to play the game, learn how to like kind of do general stuff. Maybe like essentially like role play some actual like Band of Brothers missions, you know? 'Cause, I mean, these are all maps that like were really fought, you know? Like
That's a
Mhm.
something
tough one. I don't know if I'd want them to waste the time on AI and stuff like that.
I just
Yeah,
wonder how
I mean,
hard it is to implement AI.
it's
probably
probably
fucking
pretty fucking hard.
sucks if
They
you
have a
want to do it
lot of
good.
people.
If you want
You'd
to do
Yeah.
have
it
to
good, it's
you'd
gonna
have to
suck.
do all the you'd have to do all the pathing for like that open of an area. Like all
Yeah.
these maps have a lot of openness to it, and
I'm
then
thinking like a
obviously,
small teams map, like a very,
and
very
then you,
small teams map. Like maybe like again, just the church at SME, you know?
yeah, yeah,
Um
and make it good for players that maybe potentially have shitty internet
yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
like they want to just kind of like
Load in
play
real quick. Now
with
play a hour and a half game, you know?
yeah. I maybe something I could see that being something they look at later, but like I said, I think that kind of falls in the emote category of like where it's better utilize resources elsewhere.
Um, Jiggy said another thing I would like to see is the ability to shoot through some wooden walls, etc.
Yeah, pull a penetration.
Dude,
That was something about so long ago.
so they have it. Like it's in the game, but it's
Is
like
it though?
it is. So it's in the game, but like it's really only for like 50 cals. Like that's pretty much it. It's almost for no regular
Yeah, I mean, a
guns.
fence post can stop a fucking
Tank
tiger
shell.
shooting. Yeah.
God, like they really need to add just penetration for AP shells too. Like that has to be a freaking thing. Like I don't know how these stupid fence posts stop so many. I just remember it was so funny when Vade took me and you out fresh in the tank, and there was this like tank that was behind a little fence post, and you're like, can I shoot through that?
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, shoot it. Like, what
Yeah,
are you?
you idiot. Do it. What do you think? It's gonna stop it? I'm like, it's the only life I know.
Oh man.
But yeah, man, like, I think that'd be so nice to add some general. Thank you for the sound alert, Jason. Some just general, you know, penetration of guns, AP rounds, like stuff like that. It makes so much more sense.
It's very hard to talk about penetration over and over again without me smiling behind my microphone.
My man, you're listening on Spotify. He's laughing.
I am every
Like a
time.
little schoolgirl.
Now all I want
Um,
is an update titled "The Penetration Update."
Yeah, exactly. Hey, yo, salty. But yeah, so I think those are some great things for Hell Loose, man. Like, what what kind of vehicles you would you want them to be brought? Like, a lot of people really want, obviously, the mortars. I don't consider this vehicles, but like buildable, like the 50 cal buildable would be sweet. But like vehicles, I'm thinking the like tank destroyers, man. Tank
God,
destroyers
Right.
would be
that's
sweet.
it's a whole rabbit hole we're gonna go down talking about tank destroyers
Oh
and
my
balancing
god.
and everything. Like that's
You think
how
so?
much time we got today, dude.
I know.
Like that's a whole conversation.
I don't know. I would just love something like that. Like more vehicles would be great.
Yeah. Well,
Mhm.
it's like they need to make it matter is the thing. Like right now, it's
Right.
like you put something until they fix the fucking heavy tank shit. It's like they're not anything they put in there. It's just gonna be like thrown to the
Yeah.
wayside.
Yeah.
Man.
I think it'd be cool to see a. I mean, again, I don't know how it'd work for balance because it'd be super easy to get around the map in them. But like, throw a German, like the motorcycle half track, and then the
Yeah.
American like motorcycle with a sidecar on
Oh,
I
it.
agree. That's the stuff they could put in right
dude.
now. That would be cool, dude.
That would
Yeah.
be awesome. Just run around in the motorcycle like as a little recon squad or a little
Slap an
AT
MG
squad.
on the freaking sidecar or something, dude.
Damn,
Oh, that'd be
yeah.
fun.
That would be
You
fun.
could. I could see like because obviously they're going to be fast and
Mhm.
mobile, but I guess you could balance it by making them like really loud. Like, oh, I definitely know a motorcycle's running around
What
behind me.
happens when you launch that thing off the Remagen cliff?
Oh my god. Those trucks are still so derpy when they fall
I
off.
know.
Oh
They
my
got it.
god.
It's like they need not only does like the whole tank thing need a rework, they need a whole vehicle rework in some ways. The whole
Yeah.
physics of them are all fucking wacky.
I miss the trees on Kharkov, early Kharkov. Did you see
Hmm.
those trees, Alpine, where they would send IS-1s like
Yeah.
flying through the air?
I don't think so.
You
Oh
would
my
just get like
god.
flipping on one all of a sudden would catapult you into there.
Yeeted. If you touch it with your barrel, yeeted across the map instantly. It was nuts, man. It was nuts. But yeah, what about the balance of like infantry to armor? Obviously we're armor guys, but you're infantry, Alpine. So like what do you think about the balance right now and potentially if they could go ahead and adjust balance in the future for
Um,
armor?
it's a hard. I don't know. It's kind of hard right now. Like the armor in Hell Let Loose seems like it's super one dimensional, especially from a infantry to tank aspect. It's like I can't really. I don't feel like I'm doing anything until I'm directly looking at the tank's ass. And like I understand that's supposed to be a weak point, but like if I can get something to disable a track, or I don't know, it just feels super like if I can't get all the way around to the rear side of the tank, I'm basically just not even worth doing anything. I can just run by and just not even worry about it.
Yeah, chat's also saying AT rockets are underpowered close range. See, I feel a little bit the opposite, but I think it's more so just like there's not a tutorial to teach people how to take armor out. Because like when I'm running infantry, I will say it's hard from far away if they're playing very tactically.
Yeah,
But
I don't really know how to like describe it. It just feels very
There's not
like
many
from
options.
infantry, like
yeah,
tank on tank. I feel like is decent, and they'll get to a point where tank on tank is like where it needs to be. But infantry to tank right now just feels very stale. Like I got to do. It's the same repetitive motion of run behind, shoot it in the ass, hope I don't get shot while I'm doing it.
Yeah, yeah. It's either that or you have to spam AT guns. That's the
Right.
only option.
Yeah, it would be cool. Like I said, if I could just like, if we shot the tank tread enough, maybe it comes off of its tread or something.
oh
I don't know,
jeez.
something, and then they got to get
Yeah,
out and
yeah.
repair it to get it back mobile. I don't know,
Like maybe with the
something.
high caliber, yeah, that'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, like I don't really know how to just. I haven't really thought too much into it because
Yeah, yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
But yeah, it just feels super bland, I guess, to me at this point. Like shooting at tanks in postscriptum, like it feels like there's options. Like I know, like, all right, this tank obviously has infantry support, which means I'm not going to be able to get behind it. I still feel like I can take tactical shots at the tank from other angles to at least either deter it or slow it down.
Yeah, I think some kind of like suppression system. Like if you fucking launch a Shrek at like the front of a jumbo, obviously it's a pennant in game. But it'd be cool if it fucking shook the crew up inside or something, like rattled them
Hmm.
around or did
Sure.
something.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
like if yeah, I think that's cool. Like maybe if you hit the hole, like
Like a
knowing that it's
stun.
gonna ricochet, but
Yeah.
maybe their vision will go blurry and like they'll have a
Yeah.
ringing instead of being able to hear
Yeah.
properly, stuff
Something
like
like
that.
that. Yeah. Just so, like, knock them around.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That'd be sweet.
I think there is still a lot to be desired in armor.
It's
But
very, very paper thin right now.
yeah, it's like almost too straightforward. And I
Yes.
think what would be nice is if you could have more variability where each tank plays more of a significant role because it's really just the 76. I mean, then again, like where the recon was before, I don't think that's where it should be, the recon tank. But I
Oh
think in
yeah.
postscriptum when
Recon
you
tank's in a
play,
fine place right now. We don't need to talk about
yeah.
that.
But like I'm just saying in general, how like in postscriptum, every single tank is viable. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And like equally, it can get killed by infantry, but the infantry has to know what they're doing. And I feel like right now, like it's just so off balance. The medium Sherman could get penned from any angle, right, by infantry. But then again, the Panzer IV can't. So it's like the Panzer IV is just at an advantage right now. And it's like, well, how do you counter that? Or how like what other options? Alpine's talking about, disabling tracks. Dude, hell, like put like have maybe sticky grenades, like sticky
Mm,
grenades on like a tank
Mhm.
tread could like, one or two tap, treads only, but only do treads, and it's like
yeah,
an option whether or not you go with the sticky grenades or just a regular grenade, some sort of
yeah.
customized option like
It
that.
just yeah, it just kind of gives me like it's just kind of a mass fire of rockets at tanks right now. With I don't know. It's like there's the satisfaction of killing a tank as infantry just doesn't really seem to be there for me right now. Like obviously it's a necessary thing that you got to do,
Yeah.
otherwise it'll wreck your team. But like when you shoot somebody and let loose, like it's satisfying.
Yeah.
When you shoot a tank and blow it up as infantry, it's like, all right, cool, I blew up the tank, so it's not a pain in our ass anymore.
Yeah.
Do you think, yeah, do you think if like,
It
obviously
should
this doesn't really
just
change much. What if there's a better animation? Because you blow up in a tank and Hell Loose, there's a fireball, then it goes literally straight to like this model of
right,
like a shitty
right.
tank. Do you think if like there's a better animation for it, like an ammo cook off and like it
Yeah,
was a little
That
yes.
would be
playable,
Something
sick.
it'd be a little cooler. Like I think that
yeah,
might make it more
something like
satisfying.
that. It's just not I don't know, it's not epic to kill a tank as infantry.
Yeah, I agree.
Like it's like, all right, cool, we just blew up a panther. Like a panther should be like super cool to like shit, we just took out a panther or a
Dude,
tiger.
I
Like
agree.
those should be
It's even the same way in tank on tank action. When you blow up a tank, it's all about the chase and the end game. You're like,
mm-hmm.
it's the same thing. It's like, okay,
Yeah.
it's not even satisfying to watch it blow up. I go back to my
Mm-hmm.
map.
Right. Yeah, it feels like it's copy paste every time you shoot a
It,
tank and kill it.
it's like
It
the truck, the half
mm-hmm.
Yeah,
track, the
yeah, all the
tanks,
same.
heavy,
All
the
the same.
same exact one. And they messed it up this last update. I don't know if anyone's noticed, but like
Yeah,
when it blows
flickers.
up, yeah, it's like halfway.
It's
Like you're
'cause
looking at
it's
an
a
angle.
2D. It's 2D, dude. If you go into admin cam and you're straight over it, it's a
Right.
2D. It's a
But
fucking
the
GIF, dude.
2D is like facing you is the problem. It's like
Yeah, it
90
doesn't know where to
degrees.
look. Yeah, it
Yeah,
doesn't know
it
where to
should
look.
be like
Yeah, yeah,
this.
yeah.
Yes, I
Yeah,
just wish.
it's literally a 2D explosion when you blow up a
Mm-hmm.
vehicle in this game.
Yeah, I would love. It's not messed up. It's the game. No. It's messed up.
Yeah, it flickers.
It's
It
100%
it
messed
doesn't
up.
know where to go. Yeah,
It's
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 Yeah.
facing the wrong way, so
Yeah.
it keeps picking up that you're at like the corner of it, so it
Yeah.
changes the side. But
Mhm.
it's got to be yes, they got to fix that and maybe like up it. But to your
Uh,
point,
it
Alpine, it's got to be more
yeah.
satisfying. I think.
I
Yeah.
agree.
It's glaringly obvious that it's the same explosion over and over.
Yeah,
Yeah,
'cause
very
imagine
much so.
arcing a fucking 100-meter rocket, it tags a tank, all of a sudden fire starts shooting out of it, and
Mm-hmm.
top pops off or some shit, some
Yep.
cool shit like that. The cinematic, I think that would make it a lot better.
Hear me out.
Mhm.
Audio needs to be improved too, man.
Oh yeah,
I
that's a whole
need
nother shit.
postscriptum audio in Hella
I
Loose
want
so
a tank
bad.
ricochet to fucking make
The
me rip
whistle.
my earphones off.
I
It's
want
so
the
loud.
whistle so bad, like
Yeah.
that high velocity.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I was super hoping that some of the devs that fell off of Postscriptum were going to come over to Postscript or
I
to
think-
Hell It Loose.
I think we actually talked about that, like in our Discord when we saw that. And I'm like, never know. Maybe Team 17 will pick them up.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Like that be cool is like high velocity versus lower velocity, like the HE versus AP, and you have like a different sounding, or like maybe like just the heavier tanks have like slightly different, like faster sounding rounds, and you can kind of maybe tell the difference between a heavy tank. Like you can a
Mhm.
little bit in game right now where it's like a bigger boom, but the Puma sounds like a tiger. Like I don't know the difference,
It's either big or it's small and held loose. It's all.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so it'd be nice to have some more dynamic audio. That'd be awesome. I think the M1 Grand still sounds good. Like there's a couple guns that sound phenomenal. Like I think the car sounds
Mhm.
decent. MP40 sounds okay. But
I like the way the FG42 sounds actually.
oh yeah, FG42. That gun I think is part of the new type of guns though, because that's like one of the newer guns. It launched with the smart materials. Like that gun is in a good spot, I think. But STG too. STG is actually a really good,
Mm-hmm.
solid sounding gun. But maybe some more of the explosions, some more of the dynamic
Well,
rounds.
I think I think that the anti-tank just kit, like like having the Panzer Shrek or the bazooka, like I feel like it should just be more cumbersome. It's like they just kind of whip it out like it's another sidearm.
Mhm.
Like to watch the animation of one of your teammates whip out a Panzer Shrek out of thin air and he's just instantly lining it up the shot and making 100-meter. You know what I mean? Like it should take. I think it should just be a slower. The whole thing should just be a slower animation and you like
yeah, you don't
make
want
it.
strong arming a rocket in there.
Yeah, I feel like it should just be a more like you can't just like run up in the middle of an assault, whip it out like it's your pistol, and rip off a shot. Like it should be more of a all right, I got to plan out my Panzer Shrek shot, kind of thing.
The crazy thing is you used to be able to sprint while reloading those.
Oh my
Yeah, which
god.
is
those M2s.
ridiculous.
I can't believe that was ever a thing.
You know what would also be nice? Zeroing your guns. I wouldn't care if you had to zero all the guns, just specifically the Panzer Shrek, because the Panzer Shrek is zeroed at such a weird zero that you can't actually see the shot you're shooting half the
Mhm.
time. I think that would be nice, man. 'Cause that is such a pain in the ass. I'm like guessing half the time I shoot it. Like I can roughly estimate it. The bazooka, easy. I can always like determine
Yeah.
that. But Panzerschreck, it's just such a bad zero. I think it's zeroed like what 50 meters. It's like
I don't
nothing.
know.
But you have
Well,
to
and then on top of that, the iron sight is just absolutely borked.
terrible, terrible. That's why I think like you just are able to zero it and like it would adjust the iron sight.
Mm. Yeah, I mean, when you pull it up now, it's like all you see is a little window and then just a bunch of like tan around it. And it's like there's nothing to judge anything off of.
Yeah.
Like the American one, you can kind of see what you're doing at least,
Yeah.
and then
I
the
agree.
rocket flies at a flatter trajectory too.
Yeah, Panzer Trek, you're totally relying on someone pinging something as they're shooting.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're asking thoughts on the Panzerschreck penning the front of the mediums when the bazooka doesn't. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I think it just needs some more balance. Like, I get it. If it's a bigger round, that's okay. But I think there just needs to be some more
Well,
dynamic.
this is where that came from, I bet, because it used to be the Americans got more rockets, but then
Right.
they changed
Hmm.
everything so it was even across the board. So 3 rockets destroys a heavy tank no matter what. 2 rockets destroys a medium tank no matter what.
Hmm.
Where you hit it. So it's like they had to nuke that down to 2 to keep it not crazy.
But like they
So
also changed the model too, so it's like way easier to pen the front, where before it was a lot harder to pen the front of
well, yeah,
the
correct, yeah.
medium. Yeah.
But yeah,
Like it,
it's just one of those things where they kept it so simple that when you make one change, it has a ripple effect on all these different things.
yeah. I don't know, man. Like I just really hope they add some more dynamics to that. And then I mean the infantry
Sky's the
to
limit, man.
armor. Yeah. Like, I'm really hoping. I don't know.
Yeah, because with armor, it's just they have like 4 different sliders that they just move left and right to
Mhm.
determine what does what damage and how much damage it takes, and that's it.
What's
Hmm.
what's one of you guys' favorite updates that they've ever made to Hell Loose?
Mm.
God, I haven't had a really gnarly one. Probably update
But
7, I
I'll be
guarantee, to
honest.
be honest.
Yeah, it's like a lot of the times it's you get an update and you're like at first, you see everything that's shiny at the front, and then you play it for like a week or two, and you're like, fuck, I wish they hadn't changed this or hadn't changed that,
Oh,
or I don't like, you know what I mean? It's like
There's
at first couple of days, you're like, oh, this is all right.
there's Raz, you hate this map, but there's only been one map that has come out in updates and updates and updates that we've been able to put in the rotation every day, and that's Saint Marie Dumont. It was a reskin of an old map.
not a fan of
So
that
it's
one.
there
Yeah.
hasn't been a map in since Carentan, an original map really that like has stuck around. So it's like they haven't
I
come out
still
with too
think
much.
Kharkov's a great map.
It is, but
Kharkov's a good
not it's
map.
not for everybody. Like
Yeah.
it's like all these other maps where it's like I think Kursk is a great map. Obviously,
Hmm.
people don't think Kursk
Cursed Knight,
is.
sleeper hit,
Yeah,
man. Sleeper
I,
hit.
Yeah.
I like Kursk. It's just like when like back to that load issue. It's like if you
Mhm.
can't look at if the barbed wire looks like spaghetti noodles and like that, I don't know what you're supposed
God,
to do with
it's
that.
so bad. It's so
Yeah.
bad. Yeah. I feel like this last update was great, but it's like one of those updates where it looks great, and then you look under the hood and it's like, man, what
They
did they do
fucked
to
a
this
lot
thing?
up in this
Yeah,
last
yeah,
update.
a lot. Do you remember the recon
Yeah.
bug? Oh
And then
my
they fucked it up fixing it.
Jesus, that was bad,
It
dude.
just goes back, dude. Once Hell Let Loose is built on such simple stuff. When you change one thing, it just sends this ripple effect, and I feel like it's like that way for a lot of things with this game.
Yeah,
On
man,
the balance issues, on the actual code issues, it's like,
it's rough.
dude, yeah. They Team 17 is probably got like this is probably why they're focusing on what they're focusing on because they're seeing this going like, what the fuck, guys?
Yeah,
Like this shit is held together with duct tape.
that's how it feels a lot of the time. Um, I don't know, man. Just rough.
I'm waiting for the sniper rework. Like I know it's going to be coming because like obviously like I enjoy sniping, but
Mhm.
um it doesn't feel like it's polished in final form yet.
Well, the
So I'm waiting
sniper
for
rifle is weird itself. Like it's not an actual scope. It's just like your eyes get like zoomed in and then
You
it's a
yeah.
zoom in
fucking
and they black
crosshair.
out a lot of
Yeah,
shit.
it's a zoom. I mean, it is what it is. It's a zoomed in overlay.
Yeah.
I would like more bullet drop in general, to be honest with you. Like Battlefield got a lot wrong, but one thing they know how to do is satisfying
Mm-hmm.
Oh
snipers.
yeah.
And it's like it's because it
That's very
takes
true.
a little bit more skill, and like the bullet drop is real and stuff like that. But like fucking landing those shots is satisfying as hell.
Like they added ballistics in Hell Loose. It's just like very simple. Do you remember when it was just hit scan?
Yeah,
Jesus
Right.
dude, the
Christ.
M1 carbine with hit scan, that was the shit.
That
Yeah.
thing
Gun,
Yeah.
was
that was the best gun in the game.
stupid.
Yeah, that was the best gun in the
Stupid.
game for a bit.
Yeah, no, yeah. Everybody was using the Garands, and I was a few of the guys that knew what was up were running
Yeah.
around with the carbine, just dinging everybody.
Dude, yeah, from
Jesus.
across the map, you just laser people. It's great.
Hmm. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
that. I don't know. I'm waiting for the sniper rework to come about because like the last thing that they did with the Car 98. I mean, you're making them one of the most iconic sniper rifles of the war, generally useless. Like at no like Foy and Kursk are about the only maps that I really need a 8 times
Yep.
or 9 times whatever scope they made, because at this point on 80-90% of the maps it's useless. Like I zoom
Yep.
in and I'm looking at a wall
Why don't they
instead of the
make it
guy I was looking
variable?
for.
Or like that you
I
can pick the scope. Like that's so
Yeah, it'd be
bad.
cool.
It's
It'd be cool.
It's
so
just
bad.
Throw 4 times on the car, and like that's great.
It's
That's
just
it.
too it's
Yeah.
just too much of a zoom, to be
It's
honest
it
with
is.
you,
It is.
especially
it's almost too much on
the
every map. Like
well,
it's
the
terrible.
exactly
Yeah.
the logic behind it makes no sense because you've got an 8 or 9 times zoom scope on a rifle, which renders it useless because not only is it too far for the map in most cases, your loads can't even handle the 8 or 9
Oh,
times.
the
Like
the
you're looking at
mods, yeah.
yeah,
Infantry loads in at
Plato.
500 meters.
yeah,
Like that's like
exactly.
it's like there's no
Makes no
Like
sense. So
that's
now
like yeah.
the Car 98
and
on fucking Carrington is like almost never used. Like you
Correct.
just can't use it effectively in most case scenarios. Like again, people do well with it, obviously, but I'm saying like the preferred is clearly the Springfield. It's just like the zoom is so much better.
Yeah,
Um,
'cause it's a 4 times.
someone was talking to me too about what if they added a secondary sniper to the Americans, like the M1 Grand with the scope? That's the thing they used to do too.
that'll be in the paid DLC.
I know, right?
You gotta get to level 50 on that battle pass, man.
Oh my
They gotta pay
god.
to boost your battle pass.
I have
That's the way
to. I
it's gonna
have
that
to.
go.
that and the scoped Gewehr 43. Those will all be in the
Oh
paid
yeah.
DLC.
Yeah, that would be nice.
No,
Because
And
the
then every
SVT is
class,
great.
every
yeah,
class starts
and
getting scopes,
I was
and
about to say, and then
you
it
can
goes to
stay
every
alive.
class.
Saba said, what do you think about weak points on tanks? That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I think that's like what we're going
I can't
for.
stress this enough. I've pitched this to it's like
Yeah.
being content creators. We all have a little more access to people behind the scenes and whatnot. I have pitched weak points over and over and over again to
Yeah.
anyone that would ever listen to me. So I'm hoping it happens at some point.
I think the key is, and like again, the reason why we're talking about it is because Alpine plays primarily infantry. I'm kind of like back and forth here and there, and then Fresh is like mainly armor. It's like there has to be a good balance, right, between the two, and it has to be to where it's not too easy to kill tanks because there's some instances that it's just too easy. Like the M4 Sherman drives like shit, and it
Yeah.
just cannot take shots. It's terrible.
Correct.
The worst tank of the game, like almost by far. But like it has to be a high risk reward, and it has to be satisfying for infantry to be able to go ahead and outflank, and like their skill has to be rewarded. Where right now
Yeah.
it's just like you just respawn and continuously launch rockets at the M4 Sherman
Right,
until you
right.
kill it, and
Dude,
then
there
you'll
was
kill it.
times in the before
And then
4 times you had the bag shots on the jumbos. You could launch a Shrek and one hit kill basically a fucking jumbo from the front.
Yeah,
Mhm.
so I think it's cool that like again like have infantry be able to kill tanks. I'm all for it. Like I think it's
Yeah.
great, but it's like have them be able to go ahead and use skill to target weak spots or whatever the case
Well,
is.
that would
And
be something I think would have to be from like a distance point of view. Like if there's a weak spot, you can pen with say like a rocket from the front. Maybe you can only do it from like 50 to 100 meters. If you're past that, so you're not just fucking launching rockets at something cross your
Right.
fingers.
Well,
to come
and
through.
at a certain range, they could even implement, like maybe like the first 200 meters or so, the rockets pretty much fly exactly where you want them to,
Mhm.
and then after that, add a small deviation to them.
Yeah, yeah. It starts like somehow
Yeah,
like
it starts like
spinning.
curving,
Yeah, yeah.
in some other direction where, I mean, it's not completely unrealistic. On the battlefield, you got wind and other humidity variables and things like that that would actually affect it.
I agree.
yeah, but I mean I love tanks. Like I'm always gonna have the tanks in game, but they just need to make them like
Well, going
Just
back to the
balance a
weak
little bit.
points, it's like my final comment on it. I promise I won't go.
Yeah.
Dude, I could like write a manifesto about weak points.
Yeah.
Um, the most fun tanking was pre-update 10 before the heavy meta, and that's because they had dumb weak points. Like they were really dumb, like the bag shots on the jumbo, the cupola shots on the panther. They were
Right.
dumb, but they were fun because they took skill to do, and you had a risk reward. You know, it's like you're charging a medium at a jumbo to get a fucking side shot or a glimpse of that bag shot, and it paid off if you got it. It was really dumb, but it was really fun. So that was always the pitch I make is like you make these weak points viable, you make them take skill, but what a lot of people miss from Hell Let Loose is these weak points and these skill shots and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So if they can
Mm-hmm.
figure out a way to make it like that, then you know, they're golden.
Dude, make the vehicles move faster, man. I
Yeah.
think that'll have way more dynamic gameplay. My
Yeah.
least favorite gameplay, and like, I mean, I think this goes for infantry or armor, like sitting still and just shooting like the
Mhm.
whole fucking time and never moving. I like to be able to go ahead and outflank. I like to go ahead, like Alpine does it all the time when he's playing sniper. Like he'll go ahead and be a bush Wookie for a little bit, but he won't sit there the entire
Mm-hmm.
game. Like he goes there, he'll target. They know where he's at. He'll move with armor. One of the biggest problems you face, Hurkin. I know you like Hurkin. I hate Hurkin because
Dude,
I
Hurricane's a
find
great tank map. I'll die on
Hurkin,
that
I
hill.
just sit there and that's my whole game. And like I'll move when a recon goes over. And I'm like, okay, all right, airstrike, set a timer, and I'm like, okay, I sit here again. Like SME, totally different. I'm moving across the
Mm-hmm.
map, being dynamic, and like that's why infantry and armor play so well in that map because like you can push fields and there could be infantry that surrounds you or whatever the case is, right? It's just like dynamic gameplay is always better in my opinion. Just being
Yeah.
able to move, being able to go ahead and flank, being able to go ahead and counter, whatever the case is.
Well,
But
that's what I mean, going back, that's what Hell Loose thrives on. It's
mhm,
to give you this giant playground to use, and it's like once they kind of start limiting that, it's not it's not to their advantage.
yeah,
But
but
also, I'm simultaneously becoming the worst person to listen to about tanking stuff because I fucking chase the dragon. I like tanking on Hill 400 now because it gets intense and it's hard. That's not good.
yeah, yeah. But I don't know. I mean, hopefully, right? Team 17 goes ahead and knocks it out of the park. I mean, we can
Hmm.
definitely hope a lot of big stuff coming. We're thinking again, like hopefully the roadmap next week, like a big announcement for the roadmap. Like they were gonna make this thing huge. I
Yeah,
think,
they're
yeah,
Raz and I know a little bit,
they're gonna
a
make this.
teeny tiny bit.
Yeah,
They're putting production into this,
yeah,
so
it's gonna be huge.
yeah,
So
they're gonna do a good release.
it's gonna be huge. So I think we just button down. Obviously, stay tuned to Husk, to Alpine, to Fresh, to me. Like when we know, we will get that roadmap out to you. But it's
Mm-hmm.
gonna be huge, man. It's gonna be huge. Night maps, hopefully. In the meantime, that'll be cool. Carrington Night, Alpine and I can shoot another video. All right, that'll be awesome, dude. That'll be awesome. But any
Yeah,
final?
maybe we
Oh,
get Fresh Bank to run around on the infantry
Oh, dude, I
side
woo!
of
do. So
things.
I do a lot of infantry just
Yeah.
behind the scenes. Like
Oh, okay.
I'm a weirdo. I just go run around build garrisons and shit. It's dumb. It's really like I just help people. And it's
Yeah, he
not
usually
not
does the
people don't want
the
to watch
seating.
that. It turns out
Yeah.
people don't want to watch garrisons being built.
Yeah, exactly. That's the hard part of uploading Commander or SL role
Yeah.
gameplay. It's like
'Cause
nobody wants
there's
to watch you
no
build 20
gameplay.
garrisons,
No,
Yeah,
no. People are just like, why don't
especially
you
when you're the
upload
only guy
infantry?
doing it.
Yeah, yeah. I
exactly.
always get that question a lot, and they're like, "Why don't you upload infantry?" I'm like, "Because you don't want to watch it. It's just literally me hitting escape redeploy over and over and over
Yep,
again."
yep, yep.
Exactly. But any final thoughts? Alpine, I know you're running your what's it called? The community event.
Yeah,
Give
I
us a
haven't
little
picked a
detail on
date for
that.
that. Yeah, I haven't picked a date for it yet. Probably looking to be either the weekend of the 1st and 2nd or the 7th and 8th. It'll be a 3-map event. I'm going to pick a summer map and then a more fall kind of map and then a winter map to kind of make it a kind of a seasonal type effect.
And give us a walkthrough real quick of like what it is, like for people that maybe have not participated in
Yeah,
your
so the
event.
goal there is to I usually, talk to some of the leaders of these communities, like the Hell Let Loose communities, and I'll ask them to kind of, loan us players that'll step into the major roles like commander and SLs. and then allow the average Hell Let Loose player to kind of fill in the ranks of these squads and kind of see what it's like to have a properly run game of Hell Let Loose.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, if you guys want to be part of that, definitely hang on, let me see if I can pull Alpine's Discord here. But definitely go ahead and check out his Discord, because any update on his Discord about it, you can go ahead and participate. It's free. You just join up and check it out. And then are you gonna run armor on this one, or I think you said no armor on this one, right?
Haven't
No armor?
yeah, hadn't made the decision on that yet.
Yeah.
Telling
so
you, let's do medium tanks only if you're gonna do it. Don't do heavies.
Yeah.
Right.
That'd be
I think it'd be
fucking
cool.
rad.
Yeah. But yeah,
Yeah.
definitely go ahead and check it out. Again, that's his Discord right there. Check out Fresh Baked Goods and Alpine Sniper on the YouTube. And that's about it. That'll do her. Look at that. Right on time, guys. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you guys.
Yeah, we appreciate you.
Absolutely.
Tune in.
All right, guys. Again, check out RazCast every Saturday at 1 p.m. If you guys missed it, go ahead and tell your friends. It's on Spotify and YouTube. Stay frosty. You gotta say it, Alpine, right?
I did. I just did.
Oh, in chat. All right. Take it easy, guys. Much love. We'll go ahead and keep streaming, so we'll be back in just a few minutes, and I will see you guys later.